Happy holidays, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of my review series, Assumptions, where I talk about games. In today's topic of discussion, we will be discussing Black Ops 3. Now, there will be spoilers in this episode and in future episodes of other games and other content that I might review. So I'll have a big spoiler warning on the screen to let you know when to avert your gaze and your attention if you don't want it to be spoiled. And to make sure that we're on the same page, I'm going to bring you up to speed with the plot of Black Ops 3. So without further ado, here we go. In Black Ops 3, you play a U who gets ripped apart like tissue paper in a washing machine, only to be made harder, better, faster, stronger through the magic of science. This procedure gives you mechanical limbs and a computer in your brain to grant you some elite hacking skills. Your digital U's babysitter also goes through the same procedure because he's your best buddy and doesn't afraid of anything. Once that's done, you're treated to a 5-year-long time-lapse of your digital U's adventures with their new team, who are also $6 million people. Plot things happen when your team and beloved mentor are shown to be traitors, so you and your babysitter vow to find out the truth. More plot things happen when you gradually kill them one by one to find out why they killed these nameless NPCs way back when. Their reasoning behind killing those people was because they were responsible for an accident that killed a bunch of other people. By the time you track down your older mentor, your brain's installation of Windows 10 has been infected with a virus and is gradually killing yours and your babysitter's heads. You find and stop your mentor just in time for your buddy to execute him and reveal that his brain is now completely taken over by the virus and is not himself anymore. After one final bout of surgery, because reasons, you leave to chase after your old mate. When you find him, he kills a dude, so you shoot him, then you go to shoot yourself, but the virus in your head sends your brain to the Matrix, so you have to defeat the virus from within. For some reason, your old mentor is in your head as well, and helps you kill the virus until it's dead for good. When you wake up, you're alive and well, having avoided eating a bullet, just for one final plot twist showing your nameless digital you shares the same name as your mentor.
Taylor.
Now why is that? Well, the only way to find that out is to read the fast-scrolling walls of text at the beginning of each mission, as they serve as a kind of exposition to the outer plot of the game, which is that your character actually died at the beginning of the game, and the remainder of the campaign was the player living out your mentor's memories as a kind of closure to your digital you's failure of life. Neat. Anyway, moving on to the pros of the game. For starters, it's a good looking game. The mix and use of the colours, lighting and motion blur improves an already cinematic experience Call of Duty games offer. Now we all know that great graphics doesn't necessarily mean a great game, but this has to be the prettiest looking Call of Duty in relation to its console generation to date. I'm sure Call of Duty 2 looked great on whatever that was on back in the day, but out of the 3 Call of Duties released this generation, this has to be the best looking one yet. Adding to the cinematic experience Call of Duty games offer, the soundtrack is once again pretty damn good. Not too sure how I feel about the end credits throwback to dubstep, but other than that, the "it's the future therefore music is electronic" shtick is pulled off quite well. The music does its job of fading into the background superbly. Now aesthetics aren't the only redeeming values about Black Ops 3. The amount of content offered in this iteration of COD is quite sizable. A campaign, a zombies version of that campaign called Nightmares, 2 different Treyarch acclaimed zombie game modes, which are, I believe, Giant and whatever the default one is, the multiplayer, which is what most people buy these games for, and a fun little game mode where you can practice your hardcore parkour. Leaving the best for last, the amount of character customization in multiplayer is phenomenal. Like every other Call of Duty, you can unlock different camo skins for your guns, but now you can do the same for each of the playable specialists. There are tons and tons of combinations the player can choose from to personalize their favorite character, which is something quite nice. Alright, I'm going to leave it with you. I only glossed over the positive points of discussion so I could get them out of the way and move on to the issues I had with this game. It's a fun game, yes, but it isn't anything amazing. For starters, the whole main character is you shtick for the campaign I feel was counterproductive. Its objective, I assume, was to make the player feel personally involved and connected to the story, since they really are the character, not just in the driver's seat for a named soldier. But it was this attempt at adding a personal connection to aid immersion that ruined said immersion. Why is that? In previous Call of Duties, or hell, in other games where you play a named character, you play as someone with exactly that, a name, a history, likes, dislikes, a personality, all these different aspects of self that makes them a character. Now in Black Ops 3, the character you play as is a cookie cutter mold designed to fit everyone and anyone who picks up the game. They lack defining features because they are supposed to be able to be applied to every person who plays the game. It was this attempt at creating a personal character that backfired and ended up making me feel even more disconnected from the story. Speaking of story, one thing I hated was the 5-year-long time lapse. Not because time was lapsed as the name implies, but because of what happened after. When you discover that your former mentor and team are traitors, the game tells you to feel connected to them, to feel betrayed. Your best buddy says crap like, "We were a family for 5 years," which in my mind came across as Treyarch telling the player to feel betrayed and confused because these characters we apparently built an emotional bond with severed that bond. That's not how the mind works. You can't tell people to feel upset. A great way of executing an emotional connection to a character in Call of Duty was back in Modern Warfare 2, when you spend a fair chunk of the game playing as Roach working for General Shepard, a character the players interacted with the entire game and built a rapport with. That's what made the shock betrayal and killing of Roach by his hand much more impactful, because you the player forged that bond yourself. You weren't told you had to feel a bond, it happened naturally. Having studied at Plot Twist University, majoring in M. Night Shyamalan, I was expecting some kind of twist similar to what we got, ever since we got to play memories like they were real, courtesy of the computer you get installed into your brain 2 levels into the campaign. The whole idea of it made it feel plausible that we were simply playing as a head in a vat, living life vicariously through someone else. And it turns out it was pretty close. Now I won't say I was 100% convinced there was going to be a twist like that, but it wasn't exactly a surprise when there was. Like a cameraman in a porno, I saw it coming. And when I picked up Black Ops 3, I had no idea it was set in the same universe as the previous Black Ops games. I thought all they shared was the name. And it turns out this game is set roughly 40 years in the future after Black Ops 2, which was only made relevant when Raul Menendez, the big bad from Black Ops 2, was name dropped and discussed for all of 5 seconds in a mission where the only objective was to receive as much exposition as possible.
The CIA sent us into we traded this into the location.
Thinking back now, I've come to the realization that my gripes are with the campaign and not much else. I never played zombies enough to care about it, so that's not important, and the multiplayer is your bulk standard annual bag of fun that lasts a finite amount of time, usually a year. Maybe I should begin taking a leaf out of a large number of the fanbase's book and not buy Call of Duty for the campaign, but for the multiplayer. Actually, let me just rewind that. Now you may have noticed that I started working on this video perhaps a month ago, what with my holiday greeting, and in this time frame I've discovered a theory that offers a compelling and mind-changing explanation of the game's story, which I'll have a link to in the description if you want to check it out yourself. The theory offered enough of an explanation that made me have my doubts about my initial assumptions of the game. At a surface level, the campaign story can be pretty confusing. Almost to a degree that it makes you question how something with so many plot holes can get greenlit into production. However, this theory by Reddit user Dickens Headworth sheds some light on the out-of-place dialogue some characters say, among other things. I'll admit that towards the end of the theory it gets a little far-fetched, but the first 80% is convincing enough that it seems to be the correct interpretation of the story. What convinced me that Mr. Headsworth had done his research was this little clip that I missed the first time I played the campaign, showing Taylor trying to get to the player's bedside as he/she/you are dying. Final verdict of Call of Duty Black Ops 3? Campaign's pretty damn good, multiplayer is pretty damn okay, zombies is pretty damn never played. Well, that just about does it for this pilot episode of Assumptions. I hope you all learned something today. Maybe it was something about the story, or maybe it was never watch an 8+ minute long review where the reviewer goes back and forth like a pendulum with his opinions. I don't know. Stick around till next time, friends, where I give my assumptions about something else. See ya. Bye!